Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, my dear friends and students. Let us go for the second example. Or let me read the example and highlight it at the same time. Right? See this one. Tomo Pharmaceutical Company may buy DNA testing equipment. Costing equal to how much? 60,000. So the cost of this one is equal to how much? 60,000. So 60,000 is the cost. Remember, point number one, which we need. Point number two that we need is this one. This equipment is expected to reduce the labor cost by how much? To reduce the labor cost by 20,000, right? So labor cost decrease by how much? By 20,000. So it is decrease in the cost by 20,000. The second point, which is important. Next point is the equipment has a useful life of 5 years, but fall in 3 years property class for the cost recovery depreciation purpose. See this point. Useful life of the project is basically for 5 years. For how many years? For 5 years. But for the purpose of calculating the depreciation, it comes under 3 years property class. How many years? 3 years property class. This is the next information. Is there any salvage cost? No, there is no salvage one. Is there any tax? Yeah, tax is available definitely. But some informations are not available for us here. See, let me point out the information which we have here. We have only the cost of the asset, but no capital expenditure. We have information regarding reduction in the cost only, but there is no information regarding revenue. We have information regarding this number of the useful life of the asset as well as the years of the depreciation. And in this case, also we don't have information regarding increase and decrease in working capital as well. And also in this example, we don't have any salvage value as well, right? And the tax information is equal to how many percentage? 38%. So we have to calculate the relevant cash flow. See, for this purpose, if you remember at the beginning, we said there are three formula. One formula for calculating the annual cash outflow, and this was the formula. Second was for the annual cash inflow of this one, net annual cash inflow, and the last one was basically for the terminal annual cash inflow. So in order to reduce the time for calculation of this one and of course recording in the video, so I have drawn the format basically here. First one or first structure is for the annual cash inflow with the same structure or the same formula. I have just brought the formula here. Second one is for the second formula and the third one is for the third. So for all of them, so they have formula for annual outflow, for initial outflow, annual inflow, and formula for terminal cash inflow. And this was the summary in order to reduce the time, right? Now, read the example, put the value in the exact place. For example, first of all, we want to calculate this one, the initial cash outflow. So we need this one, cost of asset. Do we have cost of asset? Yes, we had it. Capital expenditure was not available, working capital also was not available, and of course regarding this three, it is not available in this question. Why it is not available in this question? Because as we said before, so these are belong to asset replacement. But our example for the time being are regarding expansion, so we don't have this tree. So if we don't have, so please find or search for this information, whether we have it or not. Now let me check the question. See, equipment costing equal to this much. Cost of asset is equal to how much? 60,000. So put the value there. Cost of asset is equal to how much? 60,000. 60,000 was the cost of asset. So let me increase the size to 18. Yes, this one. In this information, in this example, do we have information regarding capital expenditure, shipping information, and so on? As you can see in the example, there is no information regarding shipping, right? All information is regarding cost, reduction in the cost of operation, life of the project, and of course, finally, there is the percentage. There is no information regarding working capital. There is no information regarding capital expenditure, and so on. So put 0 for this one, put 0 for this one, 0, 0, 0, and 0. So now if everything is 0, finally the balance is equal to how much only? Only 60,000, right? So this is basically the cost of the project, right? So the cost of the project in this one is equal to how much? Equal to 60,000. So now you can highlight this one. So this was the cost of the project. Cost of the project 60. Now, the second, we have to go for the calculation of annual cash inflow. If you see the example, it is mentioned that the equipment has a useful life of 5 years. So if it has a useful life of 5 years, so please draw 5 columns. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. Depends on the life of the project, so we have to draw columns, right? And after that, check that how much is revenue and of course how much is expenses. If you see in this example, there is no information regarding increase or decrease in the revenue, but just one information is available. This is this equipment expected to reduce the labor cost of the clinical staff by how much? 20,000. So there is no increase in revenue, but only there is a decrease in what? In expenses. So if this is so no need for this column basically. So this column will have only 0 balance. Now let me okay, first of all, let me change the font size to 18, which should be visible to everyone. So now put the 0 balance. Why? Because in this example, we don't have revenue. Revenue no 0, 0, 0, and 0. But what about expenses? See, it is mentioned increase in expenses. No, in this example, we don't have increase in expenses. And also, one thing I mentioned, if you remember in the first formula, in the second we said, see, this is the point. Net increase in operating revenue minus net increase in operating expenses, or otherwise, increase in revenue plus decrease in the expenses. In this example, we have this option. Although we don't have revenue, but this option is available. Decrease in the expenses is available. So if decrease in expenses is available, so you can do that one and add it. And instead of less, we have to do it. So we have to add it. Add what? Add not increase, but add decrease. Add decrease in expenses. So expenses decrease by how much? Expenses decrease by 20,000 for this year. Expenses decrease by 20 as well as for the next. For how many years it decreased? It decreased for 5 years. So mention for all of these. 5, year 2, year 3, year 4, and as well as year 5, right? So information is available for every year. So add decrease in expenses, although there was no revenue. But now find out the result. 0 plus 20, of course, it is 20, right? So mention 20 for this one, 20 for this one, 20 for this one, 20 for this one, and last one, 20 for this one. Why? Because increase in revenue plus decrease in expenses. 0 plus 20, 0 plus 20, it becomes equal to 20. So what do we call for this one? Profit before tax and depreciation. Now, from this one, minus the amount of depreciation. So how to calculate depreciation, or what amount to be considered for depreciation? So cost of the asset will be considered cost of the asset plus capital expenditure. But as you can see in this example, there is no cost, there is no information regarding capital expenditure. Only the cost of asset will be considered for the purpose of what? For the purpose of depreciation. So only this one should be considered. Now let us consider this one, how to calculate it. If you remember the tax table, we have tax table. Once again, in our example, it comes under 3 years Smacker clause. So this was the rate, 33.33 for the first year. Let me bring my calculator to calculate this one. Okay, fine. Now let us calculate. How much was the cost? Cost was 60,000. 60,000 multiplied to 33.33, and of course equal to, divided by how much? Divided by 100. Why? Because it is equal to because it is percentage, right? So that is why we have to take in this format. So now mention the amount of depreciation. How much is depreciation? 19,000. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention here. Now it is fine, okay? Okay, mention the amount here. How much is the amount? 19,999. 19,998, I guess, huh? 19,998. This is for the first year. Very good. Calculate for the second year. Please remember the tax rate. I have remembered this one. 60,000 into 44.45 and divided by how much? By 100, right? So you'll get this amount. 26,670. 26,670. 26,670 is for the next year. Calculate for the next year as well. How to calculate it? 60,000 is the cost of asset multiplied to 14.81. I just memorized it, right? You can also memorize this one this way. 14.81. So in this way, you can overcome with this problem. So this one, then divided by how much? By 100. Why? Because it is the tax rate. How much is the tax? Tax is 8,886. 8,886 for this year. And also calculate for the last year. So calculate 60,000 multiplied to 7.41. Then divided by how much? By 100, which become equal to 4,446. 4,446. For the last year, of course, there is no depreciation. Why? Because life of the project is 5 years, but this depreciation comes under 3 years property class, which become only for how many years? Become only for 4 years. Now, as this is minus, we have to take it with the red color. Let me change it. So, or otherwise you can take it in bracket. So now find out the profit before tax, but after depreciation. So please adjust this one from 20,000 minus this one. You get how much? You get 2 only. From this one, if you minus this one, you get a minus amount of 6,670. So in order to understand here that this is minus, so once again let me read it this one. Next one is, for example, from 20,000 minus this amount. If you minus 20 from this amount, you get, I guess, let me calculate, from 20,000 minus amount of how much? 8,886, right? So you get how much? Hello 1, 4, right? So hello 1, 4 is the balance, and let me calculate for the next as well. From 20,000 minus amount of 4,446, which you get this balance, 1555. 1555 and one more 4, right? So this was the balance. And for the last year, from 20 minus 0, again you will get the same balance of equal to how much? 20,000. Now let us calculate tax on this one, right? So this is called profit before tax but after depreciation. From this one you have to calculate the tax as well. If you see the example, the tax rate is equal to how many percentage? 38%. So let us calculate tax of 38% on each of them, right? So number one, let us calculate for this 2. 2 into 0.38, right? So you can calculate in this way. So it is 0.71, but you can take it 1, for example, only, right? The next one, if you see in this example, in this one, there is no profit. Why we should pay tax for the government? But we go for the opposite. And instead of paying tax for the government, but we recollect back from the government. Why? Because under the principles of carry back or carry forward, if you suffer loss, the government should suffer, or the government should pay for you. Why? Because the government is like a partner. If you make profit, you pay for them. If you suffer loss, then they have to contribute to your loss as well. So 38% we will not pay for this one, but 38% of this one will be received back from the government side. So now let us calculate for 38. این یه دوستان متوجه باشین چون نقص شده ما با دولت نمیپردازیم به اندازه 3800 دوباره دولت چی میکنیم؟ ما پس میگیریم. صحیح؟ چند از قیمت 6670 درست است؟ 6670 into 0.08 ایره کلکولیت بکنیم چند میشه؟ 2 از 25 34 25 35 میگیریم شم مشکل نداره. صحیح؟ چند میگیریم شم؟ میگیریم که 25 و 35 so 25 و 35 صحیح. دیگه اشه calculate میکنیم for the next as well. So how to calculate? hello 1 4 multiplied to 0.38 it become how much? 4223. 4223. This is the amount. For the next one, calculate the amount of tax. 15,554. This is the amount multiplied to 0.08, right? Which become equal to how much? 5,900 hello 5,900 hello right? And calculate for the last one, 20,000 multiplied 2.08, which become equal to how much? 6,700. 6,000, sorry, 7,600. 7,600, right? Except this one, which is positive, it means we collect back from the government. The rest of them are negative, so we have to show it with the red. Why? Because these are the amount that we pay for the government as a profit. Why? Because in this year you made profit. In any year you made profit, you have to pay for tax for the government. In any year you suffer loss, you have to collect back from the government. So in this year, as I have suffered loss, I have collected back from the government. Now let us find the difference. 1 minus 1, result is 1. But regarding this one, this is positive and this is negative. How to calculate it? So calculate in this way. How much is the amount? 25, 35. 25, 35. This is the positive that we collect back from the government, but it's still there is a loss. Minus how much? 6,670, which become equal to minus how much? 41.35. 41.30, 35. As this one is it's still negative, so we have to show it with the negative sign, right? Next one, from hello 1 minus this one. So I don't want to take this one in the video, so I will calculate it with a video, but it is very same. From this one minus this, minus, minus, minus. So in this way, you can calculate for the next. Now let us do one thing. Of course, for this one, we call profit after tax and depreciation. Why? Because depreciation is deducted as well as tax is deducted. Now this is the net amount for the in the case of corporation for the shareholder as a profit. But to this one, for the purpose of calculating cash flow, we want to add back the amount of depreciation. How much was the depreciation? So please just record here as well. So mention the depreciation here. One depreciation, the next depreciation for the second year, mention for the next year as well. This was the depreciation, right? Depreciation for this year, depreciation for the next year, and for the last year, as you see, there is no amount of depreciation. But as in this case, we are not deducting this one, so we should not take it with the black, with the green. So we should take it with the, we should not take it with the red. We should take just with the black, right? So now, add the depreciation. Let us add the depreciation. Add the depreciation with the previous amount. Let us get the difference, right? 1 plus this one plus this one, this one plus this one, and so on. You can find out the result. 1 plus this one, you get 19,999. This is the amount. From this amount, we have to minus this one. Why? Because this is positive and this is negative, right? So let me calculate by my own calculator here. So you can have your own calculator. 26,670 minus the amount of 41.35. 41.35. The difference here is equal to 22,535, right? So the rest also you can calculate in the same manner, right? Or let me calculate with the calculator here, right? So 68, this is the amount, 6891 plus 8886, which become equal to how much? 15,777, right? 77. Calculate for the next year as well. So 9643 plus this one 4446, right? Which is equal to how much? 14,089. 14,089. This is the amount. And for the last year, so this amount plus this one, you get the same thing. 12,000 how much? 400, right? So this is the information regarding the annual cash inflow. Now let us make the terminal or the final year adjustment. In order to calculate the final year adjustment, so this balance should be taken from here and we have to calculate it, or you have to put it here, right? So consider this balance. Next, check that whether you have the rest of information or not. As you can see in the example, it is mentioned, so there is no salvage value. So as there is no salvage value, so put 0 balance for this one. If there is no salvage, of course, no disposal, there is no profit, or as well as there is no loss. At the beginning, did we have the working capital? There was no working capital. So at the end also there will be no working capital, and so on. So the same balance once again will appear here, 12,000, how much? 400. So it is the same. So for some of the project, the same balance which we have will be the same at the end. It means there is no need for adjustment. But for some project, you may have adjustment, whatever, but you should have the format with yourself. Now let us summarize it. Cash outflow in the 0 year, it was equal to how much? 60,000, right? So we have mentioned. Next one, regarding the inflow. Inflow for the first year is equal to how much? This much. You should mention it here. Okay. Inflow for the first year equal to this much. Inflow for the second year is this much. Inflow for the third year is this much. Mention the inflow. Inflow for the fourth year is this much. Okay. What's the problem here? Let me mention it. 14,089. Okay. This is the balance. And for how many years? I think we have made a mistake here. No. Okay, yeah, we made a mistake. So we have to mention from year one only, right? So let me take it whether it is possible like Excel or not. If I mention here, is it possible? No, it's not possible. So I have to record one by one. So this is the problem with the OneNote, right? So once again, take back from here. Copy, but record under not year 0, but year 1. Year 1, year 2, year 3, and the same way year 4, year 5, and so on, right? So in the same way for the year 4 and year 5, but year 5 you have to take from here. You may have some changes, right? Please do not take from here, always take from the last. Why? Because you may have some adjustment. If you have it is fine, otherwise leave it. So now this is the information which is available. Our project outflow is this much, but inflow or this much. Inflow year 1 this much, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Next, in the next chapter, inshallah, we will use this one as an outflow and this one as an inflow in order to calculate whether our projects are profitable or not. So thank you.